MMA versus Kung Fu. What's better, what's worse? The traditional ancient manner where we call people Grandmaster and Sifu, or the modern method with coaches and techno music blaring in the gym? I'm gonna say I'm on my side as far as that's concerned. I don't know about you. You see, I don't do martial arts according to the major publications or major publicity people. Today, the major publicity person in martial arts is Joe Rogan, and he's all for these modern combat sports that have come along. Do I listen to Joe Rogan? Nah, Joe Rogan ain't fucking running my martial arts show, that's for sure. Fuck him. But what about, if you're my age, there used to be all these publications, Inside Kung Fu, Inside Karate, Black Belt Magazine, with all the Sifus and Grandmasters in there. And they used to talk all this smack about deadly fighting styles and Chi being able to make a person's head explode and killer techniques and being able to defeat 5 men by themselves. And they would do all these, they did other forms. Are those people running my martial arts show? No. Fuck them too. See, if you're following around this big media thing, you're a fucking cow in a herd, is what you are. You're not a martial artist. You're a cow. You're a sheep, is what you are. Basically, how I'm doing martial arts is I compete with other people. Not lately, but I spar at different gyms. I try the techniques out myself. I try to evaluate coaches or Sifu's mentality or the wisdom. I kind of get a general sense of them from my first impression. Could be an MMA coach, could be Sifu or karate sensei. There's a lot of fucking whackball, closed-minded, idiot fools. And then you have naive people. And it's hard to find good teachers. It's hard to find good teachers out there. Hard to find good boxing coaches. You see, I used to hate traditional martial arts because I believed a lot of them were bullshit. I started out boxing and I used to just be able to beat traditional martial artists pretty easy who had black belts and stuff like that in years of experience when I was a kid. And yeah, we were just boxing, but shouldn't they have been able to like dodge my punches and block them and things like that? But then I met this Kung Fu guy. I'd go in and I'd spar. There were people smaller than me beating me. But not only that, and it was like all of them, it wasn't the black belts, it was like everyone from the yellow all the way up to the black. It wasn't just any, and it wasn't just on their rules. I mean, yeah, we did have rules for the sparring, but they were like free-flowing rules, and they wouldn't tell me how to put my hands. They said I could hold them like a boxer or hold them however I want. I would just like freely spar against them. It'd be like, it'd be sparring at about 50%, but I could tell, in fact, and feel from the way they were moving that they did have good athleticism, and they were doing good things. Not only that, they were like pretty nice, humble people too. They weren't talking about a bunch of smack about these impractical fighting techniques, and real practical people. And the master instructor, he's probably the most traditional martial artist of all. He had a level head on his shoulders. Like, he would say stuff like, for instance, if you're in mixed martial arts or traditional martial arts, whatever, he'd just say, hey, it doesn't matter who knows the most or who has a black belt in this or that. He would just say, who's ever in better shape often wins a fight. He said who's ever punching and kicking last is throwing more punches and kicks. That's the guy who's going to win. And to a certain extent, that can be applied to grappling. You know, he was a no-nonsense guy. Yes, he did have good practical sound techniques. And we did do forms also, and he placed high emphasis on the forms, and we did the forms well. He would explain the applications of the forms too, like half of them, and then the other half he would make us figure out in our sparring and grappling, because we'd get into these different types of situations, and it makes it fun too. It makes it like a guessing game. And we would do point fighting, continuous fighting, kickboxing, sand whatever in that area and time, like whatever there was to compete in. He would encourage us to compete in it if we felt that we were in condition for it. Obviously, point fighting, it takes the least amount of conditioning, while sand shoe is going to take the most conditioning, so to speak, of those things that I named. Nowadays, MMA would take the most conditioning, and we were always fighting against other schools, not just kung fu schools, but like judo schools. There were friendly competitions, but we were always doing well. And boxing and kickboxing or whatever. And there was no weird style thing. Also, this completely traditional martial arts teacher, he was always trying to learn new things, and he was doing this traditional martial arts teacher. He's the most traditional, like he carries the most ancient form of Shaolin Kung Fu that there is. He's not sitting around saying, the ancient masters just did it this way, and this is the way you will do it. It's nothing like that. It was nothing like that. And that Joe Rogan says that a lot. That it's like that. It's nothing like that. He was doing modern research. We were doing all kinds of track and field exercises and football leg exercises that football players do in order to be able to move and dodge and all this stuff. Everything that Master Lee, this trainer, it's not Bruce Lee, it's the most traditional of the martial arts. He would have us do all these things, and he was always advancing the style. So mixed martial arts, you know, he was making us learn other martial arts too. So like mixed martial arts versus kung fu, and keep in mind, I tell you, I studied under one of the most traditional martial arts teachers, and most well respected too, versus kung fu. I don't know what that means, because I guess I'm a traditional kung fu stylist. I still go into MMA gyms and spar and try and learn new stuff, but there's some kind of weird competition out there in the media, or somebody's trying to cover something up about kung fu, is what I'm saying. And somebody's not trying to tell the truth. And they're noble people. They escaped from communism. you don't have traditional martial arts in China anymore, or not in widespread, because communism shut down their facilities. One of them that was shut down was one of the ones that my trainer took the lineage from. He got that whole lineage and training from one of those facilities, and he took it over here to the United States before communism could shut it down, or my trainer's trainer did. So I don't know what mixed martial arts are, like after all these years, and I really don't know what traditional martial arts are. All I do know is the image that is portrayed in the media, but I really don't understand the difference between the two, mixed martial arts and traditional martial arts, from actually doing them. I don't know the difference from actually doing them. Of course, my experiences are different than your experiences, and I'm sorry if you're getting ripped off or told bad things at either your traditional martial arts school or your mixed martial arts school. So that's my take on it. Have a nice day. Put your thoughts and comments down there, and see ya.